Hello, beautiful people. So, I made a video earlier talking about talking to women about not feeling devalued just because someone rejected you. There are a couple of different reasons why people feel devalued. It's not always dealing with rejection. Um, a lot of times it does deal with rejection. It can be from many different reasons, but one of the, I think, main basis behind not feeling valued or having a sense of insecurity, well, that's the other thing, is that when you feel devalued or you look you feel like you're not worthy, or you feel like you're not necessary. um, a lot of times it can be for insecurities. We can be looking at things in a way in which it really, you don't have to look at it like that. It's really not that at all what you're thinking. And so usually when you feel devalued, insecurity is there. There's a lack of security, and you show up in an insecure way. And so that was one of the things that we discussed in the last video, was talking about not allowing yourself to feel like you're not worthy just because you were rejected of some sort. Unfortunately, we can be rejected by our family members. A lot of children feel rejected from their parents. You can be rejected by um, a guy who you like. You could be rejected by a girl who you like if you're a man or boy. You can be rejected by a job. It's you feel like you were not chosen. You feel like you were not the right fit for that person, or for that particular organization, or for that particular thing. So you feel like you are not enough, like you are not good enough. And it makes you feel devalued. But just because this is a cliche saying, but it's cute. It's cute. Um, there's a saying in the relationship um, world where you may have heard someone say, "What is one man's trash, it is another man's treasure." And that's how you gotta look at yourself, like treasure. Like, you're a treasure. I don't care where you find yourself in life. You can be treasure. Now, I'm not trying to say that people who just out here living like low lives, I hate to use that word, but you don't care about nobody, nothing. You're not helpful. You are selfish. You're not responsible. You're messy, and I'm not trying to say that those people don't deserve to be rejected, because when you're living messy, and when you're doing some messy things, and you're irresponsible, and you're negative, and you're nasty, and you're rude, and all those things, like, you deserve to be rejected. But there is treasure in you. You just got to bring it out of you. You got to allow it to show. Or those people, there is treasure in them. They just got to bring it out and allow it to show. They got to get to that place of, greater is he that is within him than he that is in the world. They got to get that monkey off their back. So You know, we all have treasure in us because why? We were created by the Almighty God. So some people we may never see it, but we're not talking about them, right? And it's not for you to go trying to find out and be the police and figure out who all them people is. You know, you just worry about when they come in your space and in your atmosphere, then you handle it then and you handle it accordingly. And you still, you know, be as respectful as you can. You still be the treasured piece that you are. And you show up as a diamond and you shine bright, even when you have to deal with people who are trashy and messy and operate like lowlives. You still have to be the treasure that you are and be that treasure, because who wants to have filth around something that's good and smells good and looks good and feels good and tastes good and is good? You don't want that. No, you want good and refreshness around whatever it is, you know, that is with that treasure. And so, nevertheless, you know, you are treasured. There's something in you, there's something on you, there's something about you that makes you necessary, that makes you valuable, that makes you unique, that makes you who you are, that makes you worthy, that makes you important to somebody. You might not be for everybody, but you are for somebody. And the thing is, you don't have to be upset and mad about the people who don't want you, the people who feel like they don't need you. You don't have to feel bad about it. It's okay. Let them get who they need, and you look for what and who you need. You wait for what you need. You wait for who your need. So depending on the situation, you wait for it or you pursue it. If you're a woman and you want a man, you wait for him. You be prepared and ready when he comes. And that's what you do. If it's a job, you go for it. If you don't get that job, you apply for the next one. If you don't get that job, you apply for the next one. And you just continue to keep pushing, okay? So, in life, you keep looking, you keep pressing for whatever it is that you want, even when it seems like I've done everything. What else do you expect for me to do? Keep doing it. Keep pushing. Keep telling yourself, listen, even if you feel like telling yourself that you are something, that you are this and you can do this and you can do that, you feel like that's not working, well, do it. Just do it. Whatever it is that you're trying to do, that you want to do, that you need to do it. If it's whatever, do it. A lot of times people are saying that they can't get something, they can't, but are not putting in the work. You're waiting for something to happen for you and to you, and you're not putting in the work. And that's fine too. If you're not ready to put in the work, that's fine, but don't complain about it. Don't fuss about it. Don't nag about it. Don't be down and depressed about it. Don't be down and out on yourself about it, because you can make a difference in your life. You can. I don't care how many people reject you. Do it hurt. Push, go for it afraid, go for it scared, go for it. And I'm not telling you something that I have not had to do. So just do it to the best of your ability. You just continue to go for what you want. And I got off on a tangent. Let me get back to the lesson at hand, which is to talk to you about 5 things, 5 positive things that you can get from any form of rejection. The first one is that it just wasn't for you. And that's okay. If you have experienced rejection, I said any kind of rejection, but I'm gonna take that back because some people feel rejected by their absentee fathers, and that's a bittersweet situation that I really cannot go into right now because of the layers that are attached to that. So I'm not going to go there. But let me tell you the positive things that you can get out of rejection. And one of those things is that it wasn't for you. Take that for what it is, that it could have been a situation where it's not for you. When you take the time to process why you may have been rejected, or why things didn't work out for something that you thought would work out for you, for something that you were pursuing, for something that you were going for, and it did not work out for you, then it wasn't for you, especially relationships. You know, that's what I like dealing with, relationships. I like dealing with a lot of different things, but relationships is it. And so, if you felt rejected by a significant other in any way, you just have understand that it may have not been for you. And I'm talking about where you have felt rejected because the person left you, because the person didn't choose you, because they walked away, they walked out, they didn't fight, they didn't stay, they didn't, they didn't have the patience, whatever. Just understand and know that it may have not been for you. So it's okay. You just pick your head up and you move forward. Don't look at yourself as being less than a person, or less than the talented, gifted, unique person that you are because someone walked away. Because you still have something to offer somebody. There's a saying that there's somebody for everybody, and I am inclined to believe that because some of the people, the relationships that I see, yeah, I'm inclined to believe that, okay? A lot of times we as people, human beings, we could be, especially Americans, we could be so superficial with things, but you would be amazed. So, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And it's not all of, it's about character. It's about personality, that draws people. You'll be amazed who your spirit is drawn to, because it's something, that person has something that you need, that you like, that connects with you, that draws you, that pulls on you, So again, you understand and know that if it wasn't for you, it just wasn't for you. And you let that go. You move on and you wait for better and you move for better. If it's a situation to where things can work itself out and things can, it is for you, but it just might not be for you right now at that moment, or there's some things to work towards, then that's fine too, because that's going to be another one of the things that we talk about. Another benefit of rejection is that it helps you to grow and develop whatever it is that you need to grow and develop, whatever area. So a lot of times we might be able to think about what it is that could have caused the rejection, could have caused us not to be chosen for that job, could have chosen or could have been, why that relationship didn't work out, why that person walked away. A lot of times, especially when it's relationships, the person will have said what they didn't like, what they had a problem with, what was the issue. So you can identify, and that helps you too to know if it was really you or if it was really the other person. Because when the person can't tell you, then you know it wasn't you. That's just automatic. But when they can let you know what it was, and sometimes it is them, and sometimes it's something that you've done, it still doesn't devalue you as a person. It just means that they were not patient enough to wait and work with you. It may mean that they did give you the opportunity and you didn't work towards it, you didn't do and make the necessary changes. Does not mean that you can't still make changes. It doesn't mean that you are less than a person. It just means that you have some things that you need to work on. You need to grow, you need to develop, you need to adjust. You need to adjust your mindset. You need to adjust your character, adjust your attitude, and things like that. If it's a situation where it's a job, you may need to develop your skills or, develop your interview, how you interview, continue to practice and work on that. Continue to research the company, a job, the area that you want to work in, so that you would continue to gain more knowledge around that job, more languaging around that job or that field. And so rejection can always be an opportunity to help you get better. Another thing, the third thing, is protection. Sometimes danger is lurking around if we continue to go pursue whatever it is that we've been rejected from or we've been kept back from. If we had to have continued in that vein or in that direction, there could be danger. That person, whatever. It could have been that you could have been getting with the person that wasn't for you, and you would have your whole life would have gone off the rails if this person, you were not rejected by this person. So be mindful of that. Think about that. Sometimes even in relationships, sometimes you can hurt the relationship if you try to force something and that person and or you still have to heal, still have to grow, even in your character, to become, more mature or prepared for the relationship. If you don't prepare for the relationship, especially especially for going into marriage, it may not have been time. You may feel rejected because the person don't want to get married right now, or the person says no to the marriage, or they're not asking you for your hand in marriage. If there are some things that you guys need to work on, you want to do that before you get married. Because if you go into marriage, a marriage can end simply because you guys were not prepared. Going into marriage doesn't mean, when you get married, doesn't mean that everything is going to change and get better. No, going into marriage, the problems are going to exasperate. So if you don't know how to deal with them before going into marriage, then it could get real rocky once you're in it. So it's kind of like practice, preparing. There's another word that I want to use, but it's not coming to my mind right now. But it's kind of like, preparation. So when you're in a dating phase and, you go to the commitment phase, as you go through the dating process, and if things lead up to marriage, you want to be, you're not going to get everything, right or together. There's just some things you're going to experience in the marriage, and it's going to require growth on a continuing basis until death do you part. But you don't want the simple things, the small things that you can't work on. And one of the things is, a lot of times people, want to go into the marriage before even really knowing and understanding why they're getting married, before knowing and understanding that person. You got to understand the character of the person who you're about to marry, who you're about to connect your life with, and all those different things. And so, anyway, I'm going to get off that subject, but sometimes it could be protection. That job you're wanting, they may be about to close down in the next month, and here it is, you would have been going on this job, and now you're out of a job all over again. Something could happen in the whatever, it could have been for your protection. It could be that there's another job waiting for you around the corner. That could be the thing. So rejection could mean protection. Even if it's a family member, a friend, or somebody who rejected you, it could have been for your own good. It could have been for your own safety. You never know. Now, it happens. It happens. I was going to go somewhere else, but I'm going to leave that alone because this is a sensitive subject. But just know that your rejection could also be for protection as well. And we kind of talked about the growth. Another thing that rejection can help with is growth in the sense of preparing you or helping you to be able to handle difficulty, be able to handle challenge, be able to handle everything not going your way. You won't be entitled, because it's something about entitled people, that they don't know how to take no for an answer. It's not healthy. And so when everything is always handed to you, and you're always getting what you want, when and how you want it. I mean, who doesn't want that? Who doesn't? If we look at it from the surface, we all want what we want, when we want it, how we want it. But because we live in this thing called life, and we know that things are not going to always go the way we want it to, even when it comes to death, like our loved ones, we got to be able to know how to handle separation. We got to be able to know how to handle feeling rejected, because even death, that could feel like a form of rejection, especially if we've been praying for our loved ones, so it can feel, that separation process, those things. So again, we want to, and being able to handle something not going the way that you wanted it to go, it will help you to be able to handle a number of different things that you face and the challenges that you face in life. And when something doesn't work out, when something is not for you, when someone do tell you no, so it helps you to know, to be ready and to prepare for that. And it's just like, just adding to your resume of how to handle rejection, if you will. And so that it also helps in that area. So rejection is not all so bad. It still develops us, it shapes us into being who we are. If we look at it, it can help us. Who likes rejection? Nobody. Nobody likes it. I don't like it, you don't like it, and it's okay, it's fine. But we have to still yet make the best of it. We have to know that it is a part of life. It's going to happen. There is no way around it at all, no way, shape, form, or fashion. Listen, most of us, we experienced that as children when the parents told us no, when we wanted to go out to the club, when we wanted to stay out late at night, no, you can't. And we just thought we were gonna die. If you was anybody like me, I was all up in my mama's face. Well, why? Well, why? Well, why? She got the why probably till I fell asleep. Well, why? Just because sometimes it worked and she gave in. So anyway, I didn't do it every time, but I who likes being told no, especially when it's something you want. But anyway, rejection can be good for you, especially when we were younger. Um, a lot of us probably were kept from a lot of danger because we couldn't go out to the club or because we couldn't go to that party or we couldn't go to the mall or whatever. A lot of us probably were kept from some dangers. But so again, rejection is not all so bad. And let's just be reminded that there are some positive things that we can gain from rejection, as we've already discussed. Well, love you much. Until next time, be blessed.